Well, Feraud, it's always nice seeing you. Welcome to the wine cellar at Forepaugh's restaurant. We're really excited to have this amazing dinner tonight with your wine, with three or four of your wines. We're going to start with the 2022 Chateauneuf du Pape Blanc Cuvée Réservé. So I was hoping you would tell us a little bit about this amazing wine we're getting ready to enjoy.
Thank you very much, Art, and good evening. I will try to explain and give you some fewer information about each wine. So we'll start with Cuvée Réservé White 2022. 2022 is a great vintage for red and white, quite warm. But the white wine is still very fresh with 60% claret that give some freshness, and also it's a bit lemony and some nice acidity. And 2022 you can pair with some fish or shells of very fresh and lively white. Of course, this wine can be stored, but for the restaurant is perfectly start with the white Chateauneuf du Pape. And don't think the white Chateauneuf du Pape, it's an heavy white wine. We really make the winemaking process to keep all the freshness in the white with a lot of flavor, more on the white flowers, a bit on the peach as well, taste, very nice aroma. So this is for the white 22. For the red.
So hold on. And Laurence, now if you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit about the 2004 Cuvée Laurence.
Alors, 2004 Cuvée Laurence, I remember well because I love this vintage. It was very licorice. It was quite tight and deep in the mouth, with a nice acidity and nice freshness. So I recently had it during a family dinner, and it was fantastic. Still with a structure and a great spine, thanks to the full cluster winemaking process, which in fact keep the wine always quite fresh. 2004 with that licorice heat add before, still with some leather taste, a bit underwood with black pepper, and really soft tannin, very well integrated. So that makes a red wine really appropriate to start the dinner and to make the mouth ready for some more structured red wine. But the 2004 is really, for me, is really a dream with an incredible length and back nose.
What's the blend of grapes?
It was the same even in 2004, 80% Grenache, maybe less Syrah, and 4% Mourvèdre, and 10% of the mixed. Our vineyard never changed the complantation. So that means the vintage, we follow different vintage with the same field. Probably we added another field of Grenache, so that means we increase the percentage of Grenache, but doesn't change the blend, because Grenache is the main grapes varietal, and the winemaking process never changed. So it's really made to age quite long, and the vintage like 2004 aged perfectly. And also, the Cuvée Laurence aged 4 years in the barrels. So it's very smooth, and everything is better integrated straight when we bottled and released the wine on the market.
Perfect. And Laurence, the last wine of the night that we have planned is the 2020 Chateauneuf du Pape Rouge Cuvée Réservé. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
So 2020 was amazing vintage because I did also the Da Capo, when I decide to do the Cuvée Da Capo, that means the vintage is really has a perfect balance. I decide usually in the vineyard, and the Da Capo is a vineyard selections, but I can select and keep on the side 10% because I know and I'm sure my regular cuvée réservé will be a really high and balanced quality. So it's why I really can do the 10% of the volume for the cuvée da Capo because I'm sure about the consistent quality of cuvée réservé. So the Cuvée Réservé 2020, it's probably still a bit young vintage, but you need to open it, maybe to carafe or to decant, and to appreciate maybe from the beginning along the dinner, and the wine will be more open in a glass. It's still on a primary aroma and start on secondary aroma, but the secondary aroma, they are quite shy. I mean, secondary aroma, it's mostly like pepper and some sweet spices. And the primary aroma, the 2020, still on the black fruit, quite power and licorice and quite dense. So this is 2020 with average 15% alcohol, but we don't feel it because it's just a question about the balance between, when I picked the grapes, the grapes was perfectly mature, and the balance is the most important in a wine.
I was thinking I might open the Cuvée Reserve 4 hours in advance and decant it 2 hours in advance. Does that make sense
For
to
me,
you?
I prefer 2 hours in advance, and 2 hours decanted, it will be enough.
Open it and decant it 2 hours ahead.
Yes, that will be enough.
I'm glad I asked. And Laurence, in just the chance that someone is crazy enough to want to have either a magnum or double magnum of the 2000 Cuvée de Capo, well, they wouldn't be crazy. They would be smart. They should because it's a magnificent wine. But would you tell us a little bit about Cuvée de Capo and specifically the 2000?
So the 2000 Cuvée da Capo was my second da Capo. So the first was 1998, and the 2000 was another, I say, another try to select better the vineyard. So for me, 2000 was also the best balance in the wine. 2000 was a famous decade, which I love that number. I think it's fantastic, and it was a vineyard selection. So that means 70% of sandy soil to get all the elegance, the length, and the deepness about the minerality in the wine, and 20% of stony soil. Stony soil is that big pebbles give a lot of ripeness, sometimes a bit overripe, but in a blend of sandy soil, it's perfect. That give, in fact, all the richness in the mouth. So it's very important to have that 20% of stony soil, but not too much because I don't like a jammy wine. So this is a perfect balance. And also I add 10% of the red clay. When the clay is red, that means contains some iron in the soil and give that licorice taste and that spine of the wine as well, which is keep, in fact, the freshness in the middle palate. So you have the fatness of the stone, the freshness of the red clay, and the length and the elegance and the minerality of the sandy soil. So this is the perfect combination with a traditional winemaking process, The Da Capo aged 2 years, so that means the 2000 was bottled in 2002 or 2003, early year. That means in January. Usually, it's bottled in the Da Capo 2000 was bottled in December 2002, or maybe in January 2003. So I'm not sure, but it's usually 2 years and 3 months. And we kept that black fruit, like blackberries, but also some cherries. And this wine is full of different flavor, and it's a palette of the range of flavor and taste. It's amazing because more and more is still open. You have this alcohol content, which is quite heavy for the Da Capo, push all the aroma out of the glass. And of course, during the dinner, you have this amazing, panels of taste and flavor. Yeah, it's very interesting. But it will be soft, it will be round, it won't be rushed because everything is smooth and really balanced for the Da Capo.
And it got 100 points. You got 100 points from everybody, right?
Yes, the Da Capo, is also the one had 100 points by the wine advocate, by Robert Parker. In fact, Domaine Pegau was the only one in the world at 5 times 100 points by Robert Parker from 98, 2000, 2003, 2007, and 2010. So that was the 5 times in a row 100 points.
Well, if I hope someone decides to have it so that I can have a glass. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I hope so.
Thank you.
You could enjoy
Laurence,
it.
thank you so much for doing this for us. This is going to make this dinner so special that you are here to introduce the wines.
Yes,
I so appreciate my friendship with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome anytime you need some information. Thank you, Hoyt. And have a great dinner. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Laurence.
Thank you.